From Fox Business Network, Maria Bartiromo joining us on 710 KURV. It's a pleasure, Maria. Thanks for joining us again. We saw a headline the other day on the layoff number for the oil industry, reaching 100,000 people already in the U.S. Is the bloodletting going to stop anytime soon?
Well, I really don't think so, unfortunately. Right now what you have going on in the oil industry is the realization and the resizing of businesses as a result of a 50% decline in the price of oil. And that's basically what you're talking about. So I think that we're going to see major cuts happening in the next couple of months from the larger oil companies like the Chevrons and the Exxons.
Jeez.
The fact is these guys are looking at a 50% lower number in terms of revenue. And so they are going to be cutting back. So unfortunately, I think this is just the beginning.
And for every one of those jobs, okay, exponentially, what are we talking about that's related to all of these jobs? I mean, is this going to affect the economy?
I think so. Right now we've been seeing an improvement in the jobs numbers. And, while that's all good, people are not really feeling the impact because it's not trickling down to their households because wages haven't moved at all. But when you consider the fact that things are about to get much worse because of the oil industry and the cutbacks that you're talking about, you have to believe that the unemployment situation will, in fact, get impacted and we'll see worse jobs when it comes to those numbers on a monthly basis. We do get the jobs number out tomorrow from the Labor Department. Already we know that the preview to that, which is the ADP number, which it came out yesterday, was weaker than expected. So I do think it's going to impact the economy. And don't forget, many of the jobs that were created since the 2007 crisis have been in the energy space.
Yeah, that's true.
Much of the new job creation has been in Texas, and much of the new job creation has been around energy.
Oh, that's
so
not
as a
good.
result of that, this is where we're seeing the most jobs. So that's going to be the area that basically takes it.
Okay, well, let me branch off to the liquefied natural gas market. Now, down here at the Port of Brownsville, for the first time ever, we've got 3 LNG firms that are eyeing this area. They are now starting the regulatory process, the long process for that, to actually set up shop, put up some pipes, and set up some exporting nodes. Is there still a market to export to? Europe, somewhere else where we can start making some money off of this down here?
Yeah, for sure. I do think that the export market in that regard will stay in place. The problem is there is a break number for the price of oil for some of the smaller shale companies. And it's right around where we are right here. So there will be some companies that are leveraged that will not be able to continue operating the way that they are. And that we will see them either get acquired, shut their doors, cut employees. We will see an impact of this 50% decline. But there are others who are not as leveraged and will be able to ride this out. But again, this is the same situation as I was just talking about. The 50% decline in the price of oil is going to be felt. And it's already being felt. And, there are some companies that will actually have a break point in terms of, what price it is going to be too low for them to operate the way they were.
Keep your eyes on Deep South Texas and northern Mexico. I know, unfortunately, we make headlines because of all the cartel violence in northern Mexico near us that mercifully is not in Texas whatsoever. But we are beginning to blaze some trails when it comes to energy. There's something called Los Ramones. That's what it is. The Los Ramones project in Monterrey. We're laying down pipe from Texas down into Mexico, and because of constitutional reforms down there, they're going to be accepting some investment cash, and the investor is going to get about 45% of the project's return for a pipe that goes from Texas into Mexico and goes into factory outlets inside, in Mexico, manufacturing firms down there, and also lowering the energy cost in Mexico. There's still a potential for growth on the energy side. We just might be moving people around in the industry.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way, Mexico is a real growth story. I mean, the price of oil has definitely impacted Mexico as well. But I do think that that's still an area where you're going to see continued growth in jobs and the privatizations that are going on will continue to play out.
What we might not see is massive foreign investment into new fracking activity at the Burgos Basin just south of us. I mean, we're sitting at the epicenter, just north of the epicenter here in McAllen. And Reynosa, south of us, that's where the Burgos Basin is. They say it's like 4 times larger than Eagle Ford in Texas. But I don't see any of that foreign cash showing up in droves right now because of the price is so low. Where do you think we need to be at in order to start seeing some of these, foreign dollars finally flow into Mexico and set up shop here in McAllen and Brownsville?
Well, I mean, that's the issue. Right now we're at a level around 47 that is just not, not realistic for many companies because the revenue is just not there. I mean, a number that I think markets would like to see is 65, maybe.
Okay.
But that's going to be a long while getting there. So right now we're going to have to just suck this up because, unfortunately, this is the reality of the marketplace, and you are going to see a dry up of business as a result of this.
All right. As you talk with the international dudes every now and then, be sure to mention every now and then the Burgos Basin south of Eagleford. See what they say. And
sure. Yeah. We're going to talk about that today on the Fox Business Network. I've got my program Opening Bell coming on at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Right.
And we're going to be zeroing in on the oil markets and talking about really who gets impacted by this decline.
Maria, thank you. Best of luck to you. We'll keep in touch. Maria Bartiromo from Fox Business Network joining us on 710 KURV.